already now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Test case interpretation, the affirmative have to specify the test case used to overturn debates for vote negative first ground not specifying different action and determine specification of the topic education specific tests, countermeasures as well as officer of institute target explain digital specifying the case and only arguments accountable and make an act bad disputes once the strategy of your preparation set. Next off the topicality overrule first is that overruling of a precedent and makes less overrule. This is Griffith v. Kentucky. They accepted the constitutional rule to the United States Supreme Court to respect the act of all cases no exception to the case new rule represents a clear break of the past new rule explicitly overrules the right of precedent. Supreme Court B is the violation of the affirmative doesn't explicitly overrule much the same way cases overruled if any sees reason vote negative. First is the predictability or interpretation subject to the original decision. Second is the list of scope of the ground and the overrule prevents wacky first overruling grounds law that don't exist or overruling cases that aren't in the right direction. Third, the use topic education affirms beyond the scope of the original decision. Research ways topic towards possible grounds to be ruled on. Fourth, this makes the extra topic because they can overrule any case that's not in the resolution because they don't specify overrule the mental specific case overrule, which means it takes that grounds and solves to make it further counter. Next off is the counterclaim. First is the text of the United States Supreme Court should rule that the Commerce Clause sustains a federal civil remedy for sexual violence, but then that benefit is that it rejects the notion of gender as a social historical determination or natural phenomenon because such a reduction of feminine subjectivity and identity sacrifice women to patriarchy. Sexual difference must be the point of focus of the departure of the Act in 2007. Her work is most promotes sexual difference, rejects the idea of gender as either social historical determination or natural phenomenon, whereas the different sexual configuration, different structure and subjectivity. The social construction of the woman is not a mere social effect, nor is the impact of historical determination. However, now the specificity about the feminine subjectivity and the identity, reducing them to simple social determination sacrifices more to whether the patriarchy of the woman should not accept the reduced dividing determination pure matter. This sexual difference not merely historical alienation without empathy, abstract or attachments, it's not really natural immediacy for respect to the spirits. It is not political importance. So it makes the test idea starting from a cosmic natural order sufficient to have a social and political order. The only risk falling against the years of patriarchal but harmonious civil society is the accomplishment of democracy and population between citizens and women that exists sexually and the use of the term gender races woman to maintain the status quo of male as norms is Finley named net. The careful attention to language also reveals hidden powerful terms to what people think about what the language not only reflects but reinforces the white male norm. It also signifies and reinforces the view that women are white. It means white women. The term gender also takes too short hand for women. The body of the law gender discrimination widely understood to involve women's issues, thus reinforcing the understanding banned as genderless and social correction have to have themselves with gender issues. There's a lot of terms used in the organized practice construction of each particular potent shape around the world. Authoritative understanding situation legal language reinforces certain qualities. The law has the power science will try to make suppress other stories and the impacts of suppression of sexual difference guarantees extinction. This is your right in 91. The exploitation of women based on sexual difference also results through sexual difference. Certain tendencies to date based on contemporary feminist notions demanding naturalization of sex and naturalization control possible corresponds to the end of human race. The human race is divided into two genres, which is sexual reproduction, trying to suppress sexual differences to by genocide more radical than any destruction ever exists in history. What is indispensable elaborate culture sexual not yet respecting both genres. Next on is the criticism. First is that the promotion of market efficiency is the cornerstone of neoliberal order. This relies on an ontology which translates human interaction to economic gains and finds a line of domination of the future to be regarded as natural economic progress, stifling resistance. Murphy 2004. Image the economy of admit that neoliberalism due to the classical economics is such a neoliberal economy is the market mechanism of natural arbitrary choice. Those who have the proper expected had adjusted behavior to the marketplace. The actual experience between the position translates advanced declines between the heads of the formalism to see the power to purchase transportation, social little politics, the ontologies, and the dualism between the development and vision to be and autonomous historical force. Globalization is such that the most business the reason for progress there is nothing sensible for the person other than the progress to appear more petulant and more reasonable, and economic discourse is grounded in the exclusion of difference, justifying imperialism and colonialism. Elevon 2004. Economics is the epistemological comparable notion of colonialism, imperial domination as a science of material accumulation history, authorizes to celebrate exploitation, globalization of nation, human commitment over the epistemological comparison across the ideological environment of the economics is the individual economics have the oppressed European colonialism, the opposite of basic efficiency, generation, for all countries, and the converted by the colonies, and the economics can be considerably characterized as a colonial discourse grounded in the exclusion and erasure of the unfamiliar subjectivities and social practices, and drawing women into the economic sphere is part and parcel with the extension of neoliberal domination. This turns the case because the process of globalization ensures the subordination of women around the globe. This is Hawkins' work from 2006. Neoliberal globalism seeks to have three aspects of state feminists to build up such strategies producing marketization, privatization, without the state, having the expedition to education, welfare, limiting civil social welfare agency, and producing the between the women embracing the economic determinism of marketization. The theory neoliberal activity seeks to transform women to home economics, promoting incorporation of women into the global sector of the economic practice, with the economic development family being the profit maximization, world-like policy, future transformation, consciousness, to promote the articulate the expert mentality, and the American mentality, but worldly the protest mentality. So on, the feminist scholars have demonstrated that the important gender effects of marketization, globalization, with the fostering of the feminization of the labor, increasing number of women in the labor force, as well as deterioration of the working condition, feminization, migration, falls not only attributed to women equality to women, but also loss of physical security, political rights, and the right to bodily integrity, emergence of the motor parts, decisions of parts, the taxi, and fortune of voting rights, tolerance, diminished profits for the movement of the labor, the reproduction, feminization of the citizens' protection, vulnerability, nationalist success, the neoliberal order, the social, economic, and cosmopolitan systems, and the impacts of neoliberalism inherently fuels a collective just drive. It's rooted in the belief that there are no alternatives to present-day thinking, so we must apply our current thinking to the fullest extent. This is an ideal that only strict application of market economics can ensure prosperity. Is the latest, most deadly manifestation of death drive. It is spiraling us towards collective politics that guarantee collective suicide. Santos 2003. Sacrificial genocide for totalitarian evolution manifests the belief that there are no alternatives to present-day thinking. The proposition of thinking to rest or falling into state could have the ultimate consequences. If there is unemployment, there's no results of market business. Instead, it is the outcome of the market of less fully applied to terrorism, not the violence competition generated due to the rather effects of total violence, not applied to the physically eradicated all terrorist potential terrorists, but political logic based upon the supposition total power, not on the direct projection of alternative ultimate conservative aims to infinitely reproduce the status quo inherent in the notion of end history due to the last 100 years, the West experience of the logic, and therefore seeing the free version of the end history, Stalinism, the logic and subverting the efficient of the plain Nazism, with the logic of commercial spirit and neoliberalism, with the subverting the efficient of the market, but also point to death driving, catastrophic, corrosive predominance, the idea of loose collective suicide, preventing the mass destruction of the other. Paradoxically, the broader of the definition of the destruction more likely collective suicide becomes a sacrificial genocidal version of neoliberalism. This is the market radicalization, neoconservative Christian fundamentalism, death drive, the number of the forms of idiots, dispersible population, and concept of collateral damage. That's the alternative. Our alternative is globalization from below. Neoliberal drive towards market efficiency is only to reinforce the oppressive social hierarchies and destroy the localized identities only by advancing our interest in terms of cultural benefits. The meaning can end the domination perpetuated by neoliberalism. We must embrace the utopian ideals of true social justice by risk being locked into a history of cultural violence to repeat it all to death before. The current posture driven from above down, the current posture reflects the economic and cultural interests of the powerful class. Most of the person features cheap sources of labor, possible market, cheap goods, as world is capitalism, and the world to severely restricted, also conform to cultural mandates in the market. Likely the economic advance is not very likely to the mobility against the world, the perfect place, the economic good. What actually occurs is the system controls the forms of economics to reproduce the perfect war and media devastation, consumers, materials, and the local economy, the community supporting, increasing, stifling, and reinforcing local elites and their test to foreign investment, the old oligarchies, their strength, the local institution become more dependent on the outside, resulting hierarchies more powerful than ever before. Globalization below has different agendas, different values, and supply economic development. The ways to organize society instead of a profit. For example, trying to improve the community, but also promote importance and emphasis placed on the civil society to markets rather than identify the market's potential vestige. General globalization from below, driven by the local concerned masses, person have no little influence on the corporate borders. These are the people, the majority of the world's inhabitants who ignore it unless they're liberal, suddenly profitable. The proponents of the societies control the history, invention, and culture, also society history, being rather than inherent in the process. Consequently, the utopian ideas of practice and intervention not at all been realized today for determination, the absence of foreign subversion, economic system founded upon the adjustment and eventually be enacted because the vision has been actually not only have the system is in nature, hopeless and body, even neoliberalism exists in the concept of the community, has raised the world economy, the perspective community, and effective trade strengthened everyone's position in the marketplace. Advocates from below are not calling for the general assimilation, just the cosmopolitan idea and still stability and enforced rationality. There is a high price of community, cultural, and personal uniqueness must be sacrificed to promote economic efficiency, economic discourse. Such reduction is induced and accepted the large part of beginning to appreciate local customer social diversity. What the activists want to community predicated on solidarity, we're focused on ethics rather than metaphysics, except not to provide the internalization of a single ideal, but all, but also include mutual recognition. The recognition all of those are different, connected to the common faith, direction, and the unifying principle united through the recognition and appreciation of their uniqueness. Uniformity is replaced by juxtaposition to diversity, cement the high builds community together, community based upon solidarity and generating boundaries of the various and diverse elements, and the genius is not to anyone by nature outside many probably exists today, results from sitting like idle and English is singly down to different, discriminated against or exploitable to them, still assisted fundamentally united as they are important and alike because the community members all protect and encourage one another and do the obligation neither selected nor optimal among the true communities based on the outside. No person can exploit groups. Such communities not have an extraordinary actions from everything and racism, sexism, economic exploitation always require the person to refuse to turn away to say when discrimination is what inspire refuse to get along with these practices. Any system survives because discrimination and exploitation always grind them to the halt, and the economized assumptions of the commerce cause and competitiveness incorporate reduces all left to the question of the market. Brown 2003. Neoliberals preach all the system practicing and primarily liberal rationality involves extending market institutional social action, political spirit submitted to and economic rationality to the dimension of ultimate left to cast in terms of market rationality in terms of fitting to the every policy to profitability, equity, equal importance, protection, human and institutional change, rational exploitation of the nation order to capitalist utility, benefit, or satisfaction through the discourse of policy, and post market for decision making in all spheres. The neoliberals involves normative rather than ontological claim about the pervasiveness and our economic rationality, and the liberals do not conceive of markets of rational economic behavior purely natural.
First question, why is using terms like gender as opposed to sexual bad?
Our Finley evidence as well as the Zakin evidence indicate that gender is an ahistorical social construction based on things that do not actually exist.
Right, why is it bad?
Well, that evidence indicates, right, the evidence indicates that when you write those types of things into law, it allows for oppression to continue to occur.
All right, second question, this is very important. Why is language and discourse important at all?
Our Finley evidence indicates that when you write, well, not only that language is important in general, but especially when the context of legal discourse, when you
Okay.
have laws based upon, as your plan text is, it's based upon the fact that the federal
So
civil
that's
remedy for
actually-
gender-based violence, right?
Okay, so when your evidence on the other sheet of paper says that film scholars have demonstrated important gendered and genderizing effects of marketization, how does this not an instance of where language would affect reality when your evidence refers to it as gender?
We're not writing it into the law. Is the
Your
first
evidence
part.
says that it's important, but in cross-examination, you just said that
Our argument is
language
that the
affects
market is
reality.
also
Start
a
with
social
that.
construction, and our evidence says that it does shitty things that construct gender.
And your evidence frames this in terms of a
Yes,
gendered
it says it
struggle,
leads
which you
to
would
a
criticize on the
leads to
other
a
team. Are
framing
these
of
arguments consistent?
feminization and gender. That says it leads to that type of framing.
Oh, what's the status of the
Conditional.
counterclaim?
Conditional.
And the critique alternative,
Conditional.
free trade from below, the conditional. Okay. Currently in the status quo, there are bad instances of criminalization in terms of there's gendered remedies at the federal level in the status quo. How does the counterclaim change that? You're one instance of doing this. I don't understand that.
The counterplan changes and prevents the.
No, you don't change the fact that there are gendered remedies. You just one instance of the
Well,
plan
we
text
would
change the
contend in the
word.
block that
How do you
either
change
one, that
society?
it would be still better to
would still be
our
better.
counterclaim.
Okay, do you have any
plan,
evidence
but
there's a
second,
trade-off?
that there could be a spillover into other
Do you have any
realms.
evidence that there's a spillover?
Not in the one.
Not in the
Okay,
one.
next question. Do you have any evidence that gendered violence and that term trades off with the term and the use of the word sexual violence?
That's the first card that we
Your
were
evidence
back in
trades off.
2007.
Mhm.
Yes, it's a very good card.
Can you show me
You have the card.
Finley?
That's no,
That's the one
Zach
before
is
that.
the really big one.
Yeah, I'd like to see where it says that.
Right. Here. Feminine subjectivity and identity, reducing them to simply social determinations which sacrifices more women to.
Yeah, but where does the evidence say that the use of the term gender trades off with our
You're
ability
going
to
to
use
promote
the
sexual
term
difference,
sexual
but
difference? Why
rejects
can't we
the
do both?
idea
This is a
of gender.
permutation question.
Yes.
It's not an impact.
Yes.
question.
Because it is a conflation of sex and gender, which is what the evidence talks about. The permutation would be the definition of the conflation.
All right, your alternative says that we will be globalization from below. It says that we need to have emphasis on civil society and democracy. Why would democracy be important?
Democracy? You don't know
Yeah.
what democracy is?
No, I actually don't. I'd like you to
Because
explain.
it allows us to engage in human freedom.
Okay, and so what? So you would just defend all of this new way of thinking, globalization from below, driven by local concerns. What does that look like? What does driven by local concerns look like?
We'll
Our
take
evidence-
I'll take prep for you to
Our
answer.
evidence says it reorients our values toward pleasurable goals and
Yeah,
stuff
but
like
how,
that.
what does that look like?
I
who-
can't speak.
at
The
local
whole
level?
point of the argument is that you cannot speak from a standpoint that allows you to evaluate what every culture should deem valuable to
So who at the
themselves.
local level, what court at the local level will protect individuals is my
It's
question.
not about a court. Our evidence is
I'm gonna read
this.
this.